El siguiente espacio es un programa pagado y las opiniones emitidas en el mismo no representan la opinión de CBBA Radio ni de sus patrocinadores.
Hello and welcome to Your Health Naturally. I'm Lilibeth Andre, your host, a naturopath and pranic healer with Healthy Balance here in Houston, Texas. This program helps to demystify alternative practices of natural health, and I hope that you enjoy it and apply some of the suggestions we make. If you missed an episode of our past shows, you can find them on YouTube, and while there, go ahead and subscribe and support us and join. Thank you for joining our live show today. Today we're going to be talking about aromatherapy and essential oils, and to do that we have a special guest, and her name is Gloria Suarez. Welcome, Gloria.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us. Gloria, tell us a little bit about your story and how you arrived here on the path of essential oils.
Well, originally I am from Mexico. I've been living here in the U.S. for 29 years.
Mm-hmm.
And one day a friend just invited me to a speech about essential oils. I had never even heard about essential oils. And so just as an excuse to get out of the house, I went. And really that's when my eyes were open, my ears were open, and I just left that place fascinated. I went home, I spoke with my husband, and we started doing a lot of research, and we just fell in love with essential oils.
Mm-hmm. You were mentioning that your background isn't really health related.
No. I'm an engineer by trade, so nothing to do with essential oils or health, really. But as engineers, we love to research, we love to read, to just find out more about stuff.
More data.
More data, exactly. So that's really where our journey began, and really had to do a lot with my daughter having had eczema, and I didn't realize that a lot of the products that we were using on her to what we were thinking helping her on her eczema were actually doing more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what ignited our curiosity about essential oils. And little by little we started switching our lifestyle into a more natural way, less toxic products or toxic ingredients that are found in products, and more on the essential oil side.
Mm-hmm. So you began to identify the many ways that you were intoxicating your environment.
Exactly. From plugins all the way to what we were using on our body.
Mm-hmm.
Topically, obviously eating. When we think about going healthy, we usually think what we put inside through our mouth, but we don't really think about our skin.
Mm-hmm.
And really our skin is our largest organ in our body. So that started my switch of thinking, that it was really important also what you're putting on your skin and also what you're smelling.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes into your body, not just food.
Right. So you can be absorbing something from the environment, especially inside the house.
Exactly.
Through the air, through your skin, and whatever we're eating.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, as a matter of fact, our air inside the house, it's 7 to 10 times more toxic than the air outside. And it's because of all the products that we use inside our home.
We don't have ventilation.
Exactly, especially here in Houston.
Right, because we're always shut in.
Yes.
So there's no fresh air coming into the house.
Exactly.
And we're just collecting more and more fumes.
Exactly, yes. And that was me. That was my house.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Well, I think almost every house in Houston, especially, unless we make a specific point to ventilate, right?
Right, exactly.
And then we have to condition our air. We're pretty used to that. So very seldom do we open our windows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how did your family receive the essential oils?
Well, at first, my husband was kind of like, what are you talking about? And really, since I didn't really know, he did a lot of research on his own. And just using them, really. I think I bought like 9 essential oils at the very beginning, like the basic essential oils. And then we just started using them little by little. Obviously, we had a lot of questions. We researched a lot. I bought a lot of books, and I just kept asking questions of friends that were using essential oils. And then you know, oh, if I want to rest, I go for the lavender. It becomes so normal in your day-to-day life that you don't have to research every single oil every single time. You kind of know. My kids are now 13 and 15. They don't even ask me. They just know. They just go and grab whatever they need.
So they've really grown up with this.
Oh, yes.
You've been doing this for a while.
For 7 years, exactly. So that's all they've known, really. And yeah, they just know what to do, what to use.
That's great.
And they don't even ask questions.
Yeah, definitely. So I think you've mentioned something about application on our body for personal use products and all those types of things. You made a switch with that as well?
Little by little, yes. So, for example, I started from shampoo. I use shampoo now that have essential oils in them. Body wash, personal care product, beauty products, even my makeup has essential oils, everything. So from the moment I get up in the morning till I go to bed, I am infusing my body with essential oils, either through my mouth, because I also consume, for example, lemon essential oil in my water every single day. I cook with essential oils. So either by the mouth, by the skin, or just smelling. I don't use those plugins anymore. I put my diffuser, and depending on the mood that I want or the necessity of that particular day, that's what I use.
So what were some of the most dramatic results that you noticed or that your family noticed?
Well, immediately it really was with my daughter. Her skin issue was, gosh, it's been a while. I don't want to say immediate, but really was very, very quickly when we stopped using the lotions that we were using with her. And really with my extended family, my parents, my sisters, and then all my friends that started using them, because it's hard to keep quiet. When you just love something, you just tend to share. And
especially if it works.
Exactly. And other people see the benefits, and that's very important. You won't know if it works until you try them.
Definitely. So do you have some favorites?
A lot. But I would say probably frankincense. Boswellia is the technical name. Frankincense is probably my favorite. I used to have horrible acne when I was a teenager, really up to like 30-some years old. And so I had a lot of scarring left over. And frankincense has helped me reduce those scars and just made my skin feel a lot smoother. So probably that for me that was a game changer. Because your face and being a woman, it's like
it's important.
It's very important. Yes.
Well, very good. Now, you mentioned also that your extended family had been converted to the use of essential oils. Was there anything in particular that they really appreciated?
Well, I could tell you, for example, my dad, he was having trouble sleeping, and he loves to do a mixture of lavender and frankincense. He puts it on his feet at night, and then he sleeps like a baby. On my mom, she has a little bit more health issues, but to control her blood pressure, blood sugar,
Okay.
she uses one specifically that is called Ocotea from Ecuador. So
That helps
those,
her. That helps her with that.
yes, to control the sugar levels. Yes, those I guess are the most drastic ones.
And you were talking about the various applications. Why, in this case, would your father put it on his feet?
Because if you know a little bit about reflexology, every single organ is reflected on the bottom of our feet. So essential oils are absorbed very, very quickly into our bloodstream through the feet. And also it's a very safe place. The skin is usually thicker on our feet, especially for kids. It's a very safe place to put essential oils in them. So again, it's just an easy, safe place to put essential oils on.
And that's because essential oils are super concentrated.
Correct. You only need one drop, 2 max. And a lot of people think, well, if 1 works, 5 will do wonders. No, you only really need 1 drop. Again, because they're very, very concentrated. For example, rose, it takes 5,000 pounds of petals to make just 1 cup of
1 cup. So
of essential oil. So
very precious.
Very, very precious, yes.
Yes. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back to talk more about this.
Hola amigos, soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza. Si tu casa fue afectado por Hurricane Harvey que llegó a nuestra ciudad, llámame. Si tu reclamo al seguro fue mal pagado o no pagado, llámame. Nosotros te podemos ayudar con una evaluación gratis y si nosotros no ganamos el caso, no cobramos nada. La primera cita siempre es gratis. Llámame 713-228-3030. Yo soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza. No te preocupes, yo te voy a ayudar.
Mientras usted duerme, trabaja o va manejando, siempre hay riesgo de accidente que usted no puede evitar. El abogado de la raza está de su lado y ganará lo que usted merece.
No se preocupe, usted cuenta conmigo. Yo soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza.
Para todo tipo de casos, comunícate al 713-228-3030 o 188-818-08 y haz tu consulta gratis.
Si el techo de tu casa o de tu negocio fue dañado por el huracán Harvey y el seguro no te quiere pagar, te tenemos la solución. Llámanos al 713-228-3030 y haz tu cita ya. No tengas miedo, no importa tu estatus legal, te atenderemos. 713-228-3030. Te hacemos una evaluación de tu casa gratis.
Yo soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza. No te preocupes, yo te voy a ayudar.
Hi, and welcome back to Your Health Naturally. We're here with our guest, Gloria Suarez. We're talking about aromatherapy and essential oils and how they benefit our health. Gloria, let's talk a little bit more about what aromatherapy is and how it can benefit our health, our wellness.
Okay, well, it's an alternate form of healing, I guess you could put it. It has mostly to have to do with smelling. Also, again, you can apply it. But in my case, I go beyond aromatherapy. Like I mentioned, I use it 3 ways: through the nose, ingesting, and also topically. And it has various benefits. Every single essential oil or every single plant where the essential oil is extracted has different benefits. Most commonly known, like lavender, for example. Everybody knows that lavender is very relaxing, calms you down, prepares you for a good night's sleep. And clove cinnamon are very, very high in
Energizing?
in
Energizing?
well, energizing, but also they are able to kill bacteria.
Yes, yes.
Oregano, for example, is another one that is very, very strong, very good for bacteria. So every single plant essential oil has
Various
a different
properties.
property or benefit.
And some you can eat and some are not for eating, correct?
Correct. For example, oregano, obviously, yes, you can eat it. We cook with it all the time. Lemon, that I use lemon in my water every single day. It's just lemon. And there's many thyme,
The citrus.
the citrus, orange, grapefruit, tangerine, so on and so forth. So yes.
So, what can we do? We were talking about the quality and how some of them are so precious that they're only available in certain parts of the world. Some are available only in the Americas. And that may determine the cost, correct?
Yes, like I mentioned, for example, rose is one of the more expensive ones. Frankincense, which is my favorite oil, it comes from the Middle East. You cannot find it in either Europe or Americas or Asia. It has to come from the Middle East. There are some that are more abundant, like lemon, which, it's not as, I wouldn't say not as valuable, but not as expensive because...
To produce.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So yes, every single essential oil has different costs. I guess I would say it like that.
So you have the raw material, and then you go through the distillation process, which is also very tedious because you have to measure the quality of the raw material, correct?
Correct, yes, and it's actually really a science. Every single plant is distilled at a different temperature for different amount of time. There's a lot of research that has gone into what the optimum temperature time is for that specific plant. And thankfully, I've been able to be in a farm, seeing the distillation process with my own eyes. But everything really starts with the seed. The quality of the seed is what determines the quality of that plant. So the essential oils that I use, the company takes a lot of care on the seed because the quality of the end product, essential oil, will be determined by that seed.
And I understand that some raw material isn't the same quality, so it has to come from a certain location, a certain region. Isn't that right? The more precious ones.
Yes, and really depends on also the environment. For example, Idaho blue spruce, obviously it has to be from the north because it's a cold weather.
Yeah, it's not going to do very well here in Texas.
In a tropical, exactly. Frankincense, it's a very dry environment. So yes, every lavender, we get it from France. And there's another farm also in Utah. So it depends a lot of where the soil, the type of soil, the environment.
And that determines the potency of the oil, is what I understand. That you have the proper location, the proper facilities, the proper process, and then you can sustain and control the quality level.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So I always try to emphasize, know your source. It is very, very important. I wouldn't be ingesting just any essential oil from the store. I want to know exactly the process that specific oil went through.
And here we've got a little minute here. Let's talk about dilution, because we were talking about the potency of a drop being so strong. How can people apply that then?
Well, you do not dilute essential oils with water. You actually dilute them with a fatty oil, such as coconut oil, olive, almond oil. And it doesn't take away the potency, it really just decreases how fast or the rate of absorption into your skin.
Okay. Well, we'll take a break and we'll be right back and talk a little bit more about aromatherapy.
Hola amigos, soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza. Si tu casa fue afectado por Hurricane Harvey que llegó a nuestra ciudad, llámame. Si tu reclamo al seguro fue mal pagado o no pagado, llámame. Nosotros te podemos ayudar con una evaluación gratis y si nosotros no ganamos el caso, no cobramos nada. La primera cita siempre es gratis. Llámame 713-228-3030. Yo soy Cristóbal Galindo, el abogado de la raza. No te preocupes, yo te voy a ayudar.
Welcome back. We're visiting with Gloria Suarez talking about aromatherapy and essential oils. Gloria, what are some of the other uses for essential oils and how can people apply them every day?
Really, for everything. I always say there's an oil for that. I carry my oils with me at all times. A lot of people carry aspirin or Tylenol. I carry my oils. So really, if you fall and you scrape your leg, you put lavender. If you have a headache, you put a little bit of peppermint. So it's the more you use them, the more you appreciate the benefits, and you just know how to start using them every day.
How can people begin to learn how to use essential oils?
There's a lot of information out there. I always recommend for people to do their own research, look at the company, look at the process, how they're getting distilled. I will be more than happy also to answer any questions if any of your listeners have. And you won't know if they are good until you try them. That's really the bottom line.
And I imagine the more you use them, the better, the more familiar you are with the quality, right? So you can tell the various qualities after you become more familiar with them.
Yes. So when I go to a supermarket and I see a lavender, for example, a big bottle of lavender for, I don't know, $5, I know right away that it has been...
It's been diluted.
Diluted with who knows what. Again, because I have been to the farms and I know that's not a $5 product.
That's exactly true. Well, great. Well, I'm going to thank you for visiting us today. And
thank you for having me.
We'll have you again and we'll talk a little bit more about essential oils.
We'll be happy to do so.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you folks for joining us today. I invite you to follow us on YouTube, and while you're there, please go ahead and subscribe so that we can notify you of new uploads. And if you have any questions about today's show or our natural alternatives in general, you can reach us on Facebook at Healthy Balance 2017 or here through CBVA. I invite you to join us next week, and thanks for coming by today.